Thank you, everyone. And now I will start talking about the ESM. ESM is Email Experience Manager. Before I go into the details, I want to talk about it a little bit um, uh, from as an introduction of this function because I know that you guys are using Sitecore 8.2 and Sitecore 9 is where the Experience Editor, or we call it ESM, start to be available for the user. And today we're going to talk about how to create an email campaign and how we will use the existing email list in Sitecore to send out your email. And then hopefully in the later webinars we may also talk about how to personalize your email and how to use custom token in your email and how to automate your email campaign using form submission or using marketing automation in Sitecore 9. And here, so we will see this is a land page, and we have ESM right here under marketing applications, and this is the first function that we see right here. And this will work very closely to the list manager, where we will store all the Sitecore list. You may have the list of your audience, and you may have like many different types of lists right here. So I'm going to go into the list manager first before we go into the ESM. So as you can see here, I don't have any list right here, but usually any new instant will have one default list, which is the comment opt-out list. So if you may know, not everyone want to receive email, especially marketing email. So Sitecore will actually have a list to store any user that actually select or clicked on the unsubscribe on your email, and it will add that user to that list to make sure that no email from ESM will actually send to that user. And by doing that, we will not actually yes, we will not annoy our user. And how we will set it up in our email, I'm going to talk about it later when we go back to the ESM. So ESM, Email Experience Manager. So this is a very powerful tool, and we actually have a project that we worked for our customer to leverage this powerful tool. So with this ESM, we can actually see it has a dashboard where we can actually see all the activities of our emails that sent out. So as you can see here, we may have the recipient activities. It will include the number of email that you send out and how many unique open rate. Some email that sent out but no one actually opened it, or some email that being opened several times. So this will capture the unique open rate. And then if you also have the deliver rate, the unique click rate, unsubscribe, and bounce. And beside that, we will have also the value and the visit. So this is where you you may want to assign some engagement value to the content that you have in your email to make sure that when people interact with your email, they click on a CTA, they click on unsubscribe, or they click on some terms and conditions link. They may leave some engagement value in Sitecore, capture that so that you can use it for your future marketing campaigns or even all the social media campaigns. And then we will have the top campaign view. So this view will give you the insight of all the marketing campaigns that you use ESM to send out. So for example, you may have one campaign for the people who just register with Android. They want to use the hydro or they use the gas from Enbridge. and you may have another campaign for COVID-19, how Android as an organization will respond to the pandemic. And it actually will give you all the insight of that, the recipient activities, what is the value of the visit, and which campaign is most engaged. And then below here we have the landing pages. So email, sometimes they not only, I think most of the time they don't work by themselves. They will work with some websites, some landing pages on your website. And because that we want to know that which landing pages are being hit after the user receive the email. Location as well. We may have, yeah, well, Canada, very large country, and we also and maybe the organization itself, you guys are you guys have all the branches in other countries. So this is where you will know that whoever received your email and the user who actually engage and interact with your email, where are they? Are they within Canada? Or most of them actually in the state or even Mexico and other country. And also we want to know how many percentage of people who actually open your email are using mobile, or they're using desktop, or they're using tablet. So from here, the technology view will actually give you that data. And of course, that we have different OS operations system. We have different browser. So by using this, you can actually customize and personalize your email to make sure that the user get the best experience. So this is a very powerful tool for any marketer, for anyone who actually sending out marketing emails every day. We have customer that actually send out email, I think twice or three times a week, and of course that they're sending not only thousand, they're sending to like 100,000 or even like millions. Okay. And before we go into the email creation, I will talk a little bit about what we have in here, right under the email campaigns tab. So we have the drafts. So this is where all the draft things email will be placed. You see there's 4 emails that being added and not ready to send out yet. In progress is the email that, so step back a little bit. So in ESM, we have 2 different emails. We have regular emails and we have automated emails. So regular email is when you have a list of user ready to be sent. Let's say you gather 10,000 user from your previous social media campaign, and now you want to send them an email to follow up with that campaign. So you just want to send that email, the new email campaigns to that specific 10,000 user. So then you will use the regular emails. And the second types of email is the automated ones. And how you use it is it's very simple. When someone go to your website, they register forms, they register your newsletter, or they register as your new user. So this automated email will be sent to them as a confirmation email, or if they subscribe to any news, they will have a confirmation email, or if they unsubscribe, or then they also will get an email. So this is automated. And so usually for regular email, you can give them a timeline. You can say, okay, this email campaign will run from today until 2 months from now. But automated emails, it will keep running. It will run continuously until you actually say stop. So schedule. So schedule is a sub branch of the regular email. So you can actually schedule it to be sent out by a week from now. So let's say we will have some announcement. Let's say announcement. and then you don't want to send out today. You have to wait until a specific day or specific time that when maybe your CEO actually announces out to the public, then you may want to schedule that email campaign to make sure that it doesn't send out without meeting a specific date. And report. So of course that I don't have anything here. This is just it's just a R&D instant. But if you have many email campaigns that already sent out, are already like running, you may have all the information right here. So you may have the name of the campaign, the subject of the email, campaign, sent to who, unique open, and all the information will be here for you to compare between campaigns to campaign. When the dashboard will be more general, it's give you more like a more higher level of the view to all the campaigns that you actually send out. And just like the um, Sitecore itself, it does have administrator tabs where the admin can actually tweak or actually change some configuration of your email client. Okay, now we can start with creating email. So I already have one right here. So create, so as you can see, you can create an email campaign. You can for a regular email, or you can create an automated email campaign. And here you can also create a list. So this list will be stored in the list manager that I showed you guys earlier. The recipient list from a file, you can actually import some a database, a list of user from outside from another CRM solution. You can use an existing list from the existing list, and you can actually create an empty one and it starts from scratch. You can segment your list from all the recipients, or it can be from existing list. So just to make it simple, I'm going to create a regular email. And as you can see, we can actually import an HTML file. If you already using another email client, another email solution, then now you would switching to Sitecore ESM, then you may use this ESM file import function to get that, and then we can start from whatever we were pausing from the previous solution. So Sitecore out of the box will give you some sample newsletter, 2 columns, 1 column, simple HTML message, a plain text message, and an existing page. So just for today, I'm going to create a plain text message, and then I'm going to name it the Sitecore Dojo newsletter. Okay, create. Okay, so this is the first tab we have, the general. So in general, you will have the name of your email campaign. You can give it a description. We want to use this to promote Sitecore Dojo. Okay, and the locations. So usually email will be stored under the Sitecore tree. We can have a look at it later. But if we want to store the email campaigns in a specific folder, then you can actually choose it from here to change, and the campaigns group. So in Sitecore, I'm going to talk about it more in another webinars, but we can create a lot of different campaigns, and Sitecore will use that, and Sitecore will give each campaign an ID to let us keep track of everything, keep track of how the performance of that campaign, and we can actually use this campaign group and assign that campaign ID to this email. And of course, we can select the sender details. So I can say tech gears. And from email, I'm going to use our general one. And reply to, this is where, this is the mailbox that when the user reply to your email, those replies will go into whatever emails that I put into these fields. If you saying this is a no, usually we get like no reply at enrich.com, then of course that we don't need to assign anything here. So this is optional one. Or I can just put the same mailbox. And then it's to give you the template that you are using. On the right side of the screen, you will see this is what type of email. The status is draft. Email send status is not initiated yet because we didn't finish. And we have more information down here. We can actually attach some file that you want to send along. And we're going to the next tab. So this is where you will choose which list of user that you want this email to be sent to. Here I have, you can actually click on the drop down menu and it will show you on the list. I don't have any list right here, but if usually you will see maybe I have, the registered user list or the news subscribers in March, or maybe user that, the list that I got from the previous social media campaigns. So this will list all, will list all the list that you are having in Sitecore, and you can choose from there. Exclude list. So you remember when I talk about the global opt-out list? So you don't need to put it here because global opt-out list is where Sitecore understand, and Sitecore will, even if you, so the user there, even if you don't specify it here, user Sitecore will actually match the list that you choose on the left side, include list, and it will match with a common global opt-out list. The user in there, it will match, and if that user is existing in that global opt-out list, it will not send email to that user. And of course, that we have so many lists in Sitecore, and we may have some redundant as well. You may have some user that join your social media, and at the same time they join your newsletter newsletter campaign as well. So that specific user may appear in both lists, and you don't want to send that user the same email twice. So this is where you want to, exclude exclude the list that you don't want this email to send to. And then I also have a question from one of my client is, so what if like we don't know that user, which that user is listed in two different lists. So what happens? So Sitecore will also check all the lists that we add on the left side, include list side. If we check all the emails in there, and if we automatically like remove redundancy, if we only send an email to a user once. So this is very helpful. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go to the message tabs. This is where we actually, provide the content for our email. So you can see here, this is a subject. You can say Sitecore Dojo newsletter, May 2020. Okay, in the body. So in the body, so this is a text. This is a text email template. So you can only put text in here. But Sitecore is powerful in the way that you will have the flexibility to generate the content for your email. So as you can see here, I'm having a template of the text email. Doesn't mean that I can only put text, but you can also have the template to have this field as the rich text editor. That means you can actually give it some HTML and give it a very beautiful emails. So just to continue that topic, I'm going to save this. and I move to another template that we can see the difference. So this is the one that I have been testing on in the instant. I open it up. So as you can see here, everything is the same type, regular, draft, not initiate, but template were different. This template is the one column message. So that means whatever content we have inside is one column. And you can see we have the same layout of what I'm having on my Sitecore Dojo website. And this is actually a rich text editor. So what I mean is that I want to click on it, I can actually open the rich text editor. And if we have two tabs like normal Sitecore Instant, we have the design one and the HTML one. So I can just put HTML text into this rich text editor windows, and it will generate a very nice email. And beside that, Sitecore also allow you to create emails like how you create a website. So what does it mean? It means inside this window, you can actually place components. You can actually have a CTA component. You can have a rich text component. You can have a hero banner component. You can have even a poll component. So that will be the ultimate like flexibility that Sitecore is providing to the marketer and content author, and I'm very like how they actually do it. So unfortunately, this instant doesn't have that template, but you can just imagine this is a web page, and you can just put any component that you developed for ESM into this content. And I can actually give you a sample maybe after this demo, and I will continue with this ESM demo. And then we also have the footer. So footer may have the update subscription references. We may have unsubscribe, and we have unsubscribe from all emails. So as you can see, these are hyperlink, and you just need to, and Sitecore will actually, Sitecore will give you a place for all the setting where you will set what the user will see, or what list the user will be placed in after they click on unsubscribe, or what where they will be, where will they be placing when they click on update subscription preferences. So I'm going to show you guys later. Okay, and so we can actually continue from here, and we have the reviews tab. This is where you will use to send out a test email to yourself. So you can see here I have the enter email address, and you want to send a quick test to. You can enter yours, you can enter mine, you can enter your boss email, and you just click send, and then Sitecore will send a copy of the email to that email. And of course that this is the R&D server, so I don't set any, I don't configure any email for this instance. Okay, and deliver. So this is the last step. This is where you will decide you want to send the email now, or you want to schedule the email to send out at the specific hours in a specific time zone, or if you want this email to be, reoccurred after maybe a week or a month. And you can actually use it right here. You can choose end after one occurrence, or you want to end after like 5 occurrences, right? And notifications when the email delivery is complete. You can put, of course, marketer or content user want to put their email right here, where you will get a notification when the email campaign is being is completely executed. Personalizations. So this is the box that you want to check in when you have some personalization that's set up in the email. And then we have classification as well. So let me just uncheck that. So it says selecting this checkbox will deliver the email campaigns as a service, and in which case all the recipient receiving email directly verify consent setting. So that means we will have some email that you're supposed to send it to everyone, even that person in the global opt-out list. Let's say the use case here is when you, let's say you're changing your website, right? So you're going to move from technews.com, you're going to move from technews.com to technews.ca, and that's a very important message that you want to deliver to all the user that have interacted with your website, and you don't want to miss out the person who choose to like opt out from your email campaign. You want to send it out to everyone. So this is where you will check. And of course, we have more options right here. You can use the multi-language if you have a multi-language emails and emails mode. So we can emulate the email sending process without actually sending out the emails to the recipients. This is for testing your ESM instance. You want to make sure that it is sending before you schedule it to execute on maybe May 1st, right? Okay, if everything is done, this schedule, or if everything is done and I want to send it out right now, I click send email, and that email will be sent out right away. And yes, before I close this, I want to share with you guys the, let me just say this. Okay, so as you remember, I talked about email will be stored under the content editor, a content tree. So this is where the email will be. You see when you have ESM in your instance, under the Sitecore content, you will have another, beside your home item, you will have an email item. So in this item, you can see that we can actually set what the user will be directed to when they click on unsubscribe, or there will be the email send confirmation page. There will be a final confirmation page. And we also have a field for us to set the global opt-out list. And then there's a lot of fields that we want to set and make sure that they are right before you can actually send out your email. And here is the message that we have in the email experience manager. So it will be categorized by years. You can see by month and then by date. And I'm having 3 different emails that under it. And of course that you can actually edit your email right from the content editor. But the best practice is we will use the email experience manager to modify and to configure your email. Content editor is not as good as managing your email in Sitecore. And before we closed out the webinar, the last thing I want to talk is some best practices. So we may want to, it's a best practices. So you should automate some important email, such as like welcome emails, some event reminder, or some checkout confirmations email. And you can also, if you have a layout that you want to use many times, so it's very good to build yourself an email template, and that can be used with components inside Sitecore. So you should build email template, so you don't need to recreate everything from scratch over again. And then you can have you should have a clear unsubscribe strategy as well. You want to create a list for every campaign to actually separate them out and have like a clearer inside of them. We should have a multiple list. We should have categories to actually separate or segment the user. So yeah, that's a very good best practice. And you should also personalize or customize your email to make sure that the user get the relevant content. And then we can actually engage increase the engagement value and the conversion rate of that email. And very, very good points is we should use A/B testing for email as well. Not only pages or website, we should use A/B testing. And this A/B testing will give you a better insight of how good your emails is laid out, how good is your content, and how like you will get um, a better uh, check of the performance of your email campaigns. And we should use token as well. Token, when I say token, that means you usually see that when you get email that have your name on it, or they have your telephone number on it, and this is a token that kicks in. So let's say Enbridge, the organization itself, it's categorized the user into registered user and non-registered user. So when you send out an email, you can say, so hi, this Hector, my name, and then we know that you are non-registered user, and then we have this offer for you, and using that token you can actually make your email more dynamic, and that's a very good customer experience. And by saying that, I conclude my ESM uh, the webinar, and we can start with the Q&A section.